Hello and welcome back to Water Warships. I'm your host Forgotten Void, and today we're going to be talking about the new sale with black ships and what is good for ops. Now first, I'd like to preface with this is not advertisement to spend your money for World of Warships. If you don't have the money to spend, if you don't have spending money, if you don't feel like spending money for the game, don't spend the money. This is only for the people who have the money or the doubloons already in their account and would like to use it to pick up a premium ship or two. As for how you feel about how Wargaming's changes or how the major player base changes, Flimsy Lunch Tray, he has a video based on a pretty opinionated video. You can click the link above to go see his opinionated video, as well as for PvP and what is good there. Now, I'm going to focus on for ops specifically. Personally, I ended up picking up some crates. I did 7 crates total. So I did 7 crates total, and I got a Saustral B. That's it. Nothing else out of 7 crates. So this year I went with crates. Last year I bought ships. If you want to look at last year's video, you can look at last year's video. But this year we're going to go over what is good now that tier 9 and 10 ops have 9, 10 and super ship ops have come in. So to the armory. So we're going to start with the first page. So you have a mission a chain, a bundle chain. And for the bundle chain, I went all the way up to the coal. After that, it starts getting expensive for not that much worth. Like the only thing that is really nice is these, but you know, that's a lot of dubs just for a few red boosters. At the end of the chain, you have Munich B. Munich herself, she's an interesting ship, but Weimar's just straight up better. Munich has a faster reload, but less guns. Has less torpedoes. And so, honestly, Munich might be decent for PvP, but Weimar's just better. So, that's why I just don't even bother with going up all the chain. The other thing is you have San Diego, Huron, and Duplier. I believe I pronounced that right. French people, correct me if I'm wrong. So San Diego, Huron, and Duplier, you have you can get coupons for these ships by spending real money for the sale. You have to spend real money, and I will show you about the real money. So on Black Friday, the first thing you have Black Fleet. This is all spending real money. Now I live in Japan, so all of these prices are in Japanese yen. It's about like a good so this is about $100 in US. So I'm paying about the same amount as you guys, despite it actually being more expensive compared to my salary than a standard US salary. So for me, they are actually on the expensive side. Anyways, so on to the new ships. We have Brisbane, Azuma, Alabama as the 3, and Munich as the 4 new ships. As I said, Munich is not worth it. Alabama is not available for coal, but honestly, if you're going to spend real money, and get Massachusetts. It's look, it's about the same price, and Massachusetts is better. Alabama is a shorter Iowa. It's basically the same. If you like Iowa, then you would like Alabama. It has a shorter turn radius, and the guns perform about the same. But if you want a secondary ship and have a better repair party, actually Alabama doesn't have. Yeah, Iowa has a better repair party than Alabama. That's something Iowa has over her. Massachusetts is good for secondaries, so that's good for her. Another onto the other money only ships. Jean Bart, it's really, really, really good. Bourgogne is better, but Jean Bart's really, really, really good for ops. In my last video of Aegir, I mentioned about the Jean Bart who was doing really well. Like, it is a nice ship. It used to be available for coal, and then it was removed because it was too popular. I wonder why. Because it's not like a bow-in ship that has a main battery reload booster and a short reload is not popular. Yeah. Anyway, Bourgogne's also available for coal, so you might as well just pick her up for coal. Azuma's also available for coal, and for ops, Yoshino is better, and I'll pull up Yoshino later because she's also in this. And she's just available for coal. Alaska. Alaska is nice in both PvP and PvE. Let's show in port armor layout. So she has a nice belt here, and then she's 28, 27 at 36 millimeter deck. So decent armor. You're going to get HE pens, but still decent armor all around with the all or nothing scheme, more or less. So pretty much nothing, lots of armor, nothing, decent armor. She has a kind of a big superstructure, but the middle here is pretty much empty. So when at far range, when the bots are shooting your center, a lot of the shells are going to hit here at the 36 millimeter deck, and so anything with 203s that's not German are just going to shatter, especially if they hit center deck. You might take a little bit on their superstructure, but most will be on center deck. So the way she's structured, she actually is pretty tanky, too. And then she has good armor piercing. She doesn't have torpedoes, but that means you don't have to worry about torpedoes. And she has a nice skin. So Alaska's a nice ship. The new ships. What is nice about them is their camo. They have a new camo, so it looks kind of like a wood. I was actually hoping this would actually be warpy and shiny, but no, they just they took the easy road and just carved it in. So it's kind of like what you would see in like grains of wood, which is nice, but kind of cheating because I was hoping for an actual, like an oil slick, like where it would shine in different ways. So that's kind of new. They're testing out a new scheme with the new ships, whereas the older you have a very much black, just all black with a little bit of shininess here and there. Asasio. Asasio is a Japanese torpedo boat. She has super deep water torpedoes. They only hit destroyers and carriers. So she is a nice trainer for ships. She's a nice tier 8 Japanese torpedo and boat premium if you don't have one. The artillery, it's okay. Can't say anything great about it. It's normal. But where is it? You get smoke and a torpedo reload booster, which you don't get. You get on the gunboats, but you don't get 2 torpedo tubes and smoke and a torpedo reload booster until Hayate. Hayate is also available for coal. So honestly, Hayate would be better at tier 10. She's pretty good, especially with a really good reload time. But Asasio is decent at tier 8. So if you're only going for tier 8, like she's a decent ship. Just hope you don't get Cherry Blossom. And then you have all the rest available for those, which are also available for dubs. So you can buy the containers available for dubs. I bought the pack of 5, and then I was up in the chain. So that's what I did for doubloons, and that's so as you see, it cost me what 5,600 plus the other two. The other chain, I don't know how much the other chain was for a Sashio. So it was basically when I bought the 5,600, that is when it was in these 5 that a Sashio came out. So for a tier 8 destroyer, we'll use Black Bee as an example. No, not Black Bee. Toggle, Saipan, Star Horse, Turpits. We'll use a Toggle as an example. Like, because Lo Ying is really cheap for tier 8. But it's between there. So it was a slight discount for getting a Sashio, especially since she cannot be purchasing. Like there's Cossack at 6,000. So for all the tier 8s and below, just refer to my previous video. And I will talk about the other ones. So Brisbane herself, she is a Minotaur without a smoke, and gets so she is forced to have radar. She gets Chapayev radar, I think. And then it's she has HE instead of armor piercing only. So those are her gimmicks. She's more of a PvP ship, not a PvE ship. So I would say skip her. Azuma, I would say skip and just get Yoshino. If you really want Azuma, go for the Cole version, but I would just say skip. She's no torpedoes, only main guns, slow reload. Alaska's just straight up better, especially when it comes to armor. Like, look at that. She has a 25 millimeter nose, and then it's just all of this is 27 millimeters. You have to remove the torpedo belt to get to the 178 millimeter, which is still thinner than Alaska, and you have this huge 27 millimeter thing and side plate. So, and her deck is also 27 millimeter. So just straight up, yeah, she's not that good. So either Yoshino or get Alaska. And Alabama, I mentioned before, right? She is nice, but I don't use her that much. Never really did, because she is a main gun focused, and you want more DPM with them. So with tier 8s and below. So that's why Massachusetts is just straight up better for it. Tier 8. Also, Massachusetts has a better heal. Iowa has a better heal. Like, Iowa heals more, and Massachusetts heals faster. Alabama has the slow heal reload of Iowa, but the small heal of Massachusetts. And so what she does it better at is faster turn and a bigger torp bulge. I think the biggest torp bulge for an American battleship. So, on to tier 10, Napoli. Absolutely the best tier 10 available, but it's also available for Cole, so might as well. Yoshino B, really good. Like it is actually really good because of the torps. Any Atago lovers will love Yoshino, because you get 20 kilometer torps, and they have basically the same arcs, actually better arcs than Atago. But and she looks pretty. Nice silver shine to the turrets. But she's available for Cole, so you might as well just get her for Cole. Iwami. I picked up Iwami a while back to see how she was, and honestly, I don't feel any love for her. Like, if her secondaries were actually not 7 kilometers, but even like they were 7.7 or longer, and you could actually build into secondaries, that would actually be nice. Like, if she had accurate secondaries that were long range, she'd be a good ship for secondary brawling, and especially with torpedoes. But for the most part, I just find her lacking with only 8 410 millimeter guns at tier 9. And I just find her lacking. I mean, yeah, she has 20 kilometer torpedoes, but eh, not. And I don't see her being very well for ops. I haven't even done very well in her for ops. Palmern. Palmern, yeah, and just like Iwami, she's available for call. Just like Iwami, she has torpedoes, but her torpedoes are 6 kilometers. So you might as well not have torpedoes. Uh, she has a large battery, but it's a slower rate, like 33 seconds base. Um, she can be built for secondaries, and the secondaries are nice. 26 millimeters and 38. As you might as well just leave it as is, because the 26 millimeters pens most everything that you need to pen, and then you have a 5% fire chance, so you rather go for the fire chance rather than try and get the 32 millimeter pen for the few targets that you can pen over. And then she has a heavy weight, but the dispersion is absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. Like, I think she has a 1.5 or 1.4 sigma. It is one of the worst sigmas, so it is very much a shotgun. So you actually have to get in close to be able to get our guns, and then all of her guns have a bad turret angle. So instead of her, I would just get GK, which I had a video not too long ago with Grober Kurfürst. So I'm going to go for a coal ship. I'd actually go for Grober Kurfürst over Palmern, especially for main guns. And like the secondaries on Grober Kurfürst are better too. Like her gimmick is having both torpedoes and hydro, which there are 2 German ships with both torpedoes and hydro, and that's Palmern and Odin, and Odin's currently not available. Kearsarge. Kearsarge is, well, ugly. Like, even with the black camo, that entire HE shell trap. Make sure that this is 38 millimeters, but all of this 19 millimeter superstructure shell HE farmable shell trap, you're just going to burn down. Like, her thing is having 406 guns, but yeah, I mean, that's a 36 reload. That is Minnesota. That is Minnesota with the reload mod. It is a slow reload. Like, sure, you can do a reload mod on here and get it a little bit down, but having this huge superstructure HE shell trap, you're not a front line, and you have the gimmick of airplanes, but it's the rocket airplanes with Tiny Tims? No, that's not this one. Yes, you have it's the Tiny Tims, which are hard to aim, hard to lead, have great pen, great fire chance, do high damage, but are hard to use. And you have a flight of 5 of those, and AA is not forgiving, so it's okay. I would go for another unless you really like hybrids. Black Bee. This is how you can not use a whole bunch of coal. Because as you can see, she costs the exact same as every single other tier 9 ship. Whereas for coal, she costs a lot more. So, like, if you really want your radar smoke destroyer, that's her gimmick. She's a Fletcher with radar and smoke. With some of the slowest torpedoes in the game. 43 knots base. There are ships that outrun this. If you are behind a bot and you shoot at the bot, they are probably going to outrun your torpedoes. So you have to lead them. But like her guns, she is very much a gunboat. She is a Fletcher. You want gunboats with sea mine torpedoes or smoke and radar. Those are her gimmicks. And if you don't want to waste all the coal, or no, I don't mean waste, but spend the extra coal to purchase black because she was a steel ship, this is one way to pick her up if you have a bunch of doubloons. So of all the coal ships, like black is the only one I see as worth it. If you want to go purchase straight. Otherwise, I would just say all these ships just purchase for coal. Everything else I covered in my previous video because they're all able to be used for ops anyway. So I just go ahead and go to that video. That said, if you want multiple ships but you don't care what ships you get, the 25 bundle is probably the best because you have a guaranteed drop in 14. You're probably going to get to at least 3 ships for this. I remember seeing someone bought, I didn't see, but I heard about someone buying 100. So they bought 4 of these bundles. 4 of these bundles. So that's 100,000 dubs. So 1,000. That's 1,000 dubs each. 4 of those, and they got like 17 of the ships. So it was a quick way to buff their fleet real quick. However, and big however, if you just want to get ships, I would say save your doubloons. Don't buy these. Like I bought one just because fuck it. But Santa crates and Christmas is right around the corner. And those have a lot more rare ships, a lot more ships in their pool. And people who already have all the ships, like this, if you have all the ships, you will receive 2,500 dubs. Like, I mean, that's nice, but like, unless you're getting a ship from every single one, it's not really worth it. However, on the Santa crates in all the previous years, it was steel. So another hard to get resource if you already have all the ships. And if you don't have all the ships, it's a nice way to pick up the ships you don't have. On that, before you get Santa, you should go to the naval community and pick up all your tier 5s. Like I am missing this one, so I'm going to purchase this. And we are going to get Vibrating Unit because it's the only ship I do not have. And Vibrating Unit. Verbius Unitus. Vibrating Unit. And with that, that would be all the tier 5s in that crate. So now I cannot get a tier 5 out of a I can't get any of these. So you have 17 ships here. I cannot get any of these in a super container or in a Santa container because I already have them in my port. The tier 2s for 4 you don't really matter because those don't drop in I don't think they drop in super containers. Yes, they don't drop in super containers and they don't drop in Santa containers, so don't worry about those. The next thing I would have to do is here, because there's a few of these that I do not have, like Atlanta, Yukon, Collingwood. Okay, there's 3 of these that I do not have. Indianapolis and Poltava, 5. I don't have 5 of these. So eventually I'll start saving up and picking up these, unless I pick them up in Santa containers. Who knows? Last year I was really weird lucky with my Santa containers. I had bought Massachusetts and then I picked up Massachusetts Black in the Black Friday sale for doubloons because she was available last year, but not this year. And then I got Massachusetts Normal in a Santa container. Had I known, I wouldn't have grabbed grabbed Massachusetts and I would save my dubs, but oh well. Hindsight's 2020. So with that, I hope I have explained what ships are good and you can make an informed decision if you are going to purchase or not. That said, I hope to see you with later this weekend with the normal video of going through ops and playing, I believe it's going to be British Destroyer and ops. Have a good one.